Hello, welcome to the Formula Racing League. This is the Tier 1 category. We're at the Autodromo Nazionale Monza in Italy, close to the city of Milan. This is the Italian Grand Prix. Round 2 of the championship takes us here. We begun last week in Brazil. Smolly came out on top, the Season 1 champion in that. Turenbar was second and Exotic Alpha completing the podium. Can any of them come out on top here at Monza? 14 drivers are currently involved in tonight's qualifying session. There could be one or two more joining for the race later on, but these are the numbers we have got. We are using the full qualifying session, so I can imagine the first session will be used as a practice session for the drivers before Q2 begins. So looking at the Drivers' Championship, Smolly with his victory in Brazil, pole position and fastest lap points. He leads by 9 points at the top over Turenbar in second place. As I've already mentioned, we've already done one race, so there's a long way to go yet in this championship. Just a rundown on which races we'll be using, or which tracks we'll be using for Season 3 of the Formula Racing League. We've done Sao Paulo, this is Monza. Next week we go to Shanghai in China. Then it's the Red Bull Ring in Austria, followed by Melbourne, Australia. Then it's Bahrain on the 7th of September, then it's Suzuka the following week, followed by Austin and Singapore to round off September. And we've got two more races in Mexico and Baku, which will host the season finale on the 12th of October. And we've got 15 drivers involved, just seen Dan Murphy opting out of qualifying. It says it's 15, it should be 14 actually. We've got a glitch on the graphic. Here's Pascal, who's going out on the circuit to do a fast lap. Pascal, who retired last time out in Brazil, despite a reasonable qualifying session. Set some good lap times actually during the practice session before this, so we are expecting him to be challenging for maybe like a top 6 or a top 7 start here at Monza. So what can the Bulgarian do here? There are two Bulgarian drivers at Aston Martin. We have got a number of drivers, full-time drivers, missing for tonight. They are Davidouche and Lizard for Ferrari, Max in the Williams, Quinn in the Alpine, Alex TG in the AlphaTauri, and Pimis for Red Bull. Say that Don Argent has filled in one of the Red Bull cars. He's replaced Pimis in that seat. That's the only reserve called in for tonight so far. And Pascal going a bit too wild over the curbs there, nearly had his lap time invalidated, but he's still on course to complete this lap. And Mikey, otherwise known as SpongeBob on the graphic, has also started a flying lap. So Pascal turning into Ascari. He avoided the inside curve there, just to make sure he didn't spun the car around, which is very easy to do through that complex. Now what time is Pascal going to post here? And the answer to that question is a 1:21.1. Here's Mikey, who will be the next driver to complete a flying lap. Liam is also on a flying lap. He's just going through Lesmo now. So Mikey coming down the back straight before the Parabolica. And the number 8 Williams. He'll be crossing over the line now, and it'll be a 1 minute 19.6. That's a very fast time at this stage of the session. Liam is next in the AlphaTauri. This is not a representative lap by any means, to be quite honest with you. It's only a 1:24.0. But given the number of those involved in Q1, he's safe in going through to Q2. And the only way we'll see drivers eliminated is if they crash out on circuit. Now, Dan Murphy has retired from the session, but he's stopped in the pits, so he may decide to go out for a lap in Q2. As far as I know, no drivers are carrying quali bans, so we should expect to see a close qualifying session and race. Exotic Alpha is on a flying lap. Romans Republic has had his lap time invalidated for track limits. 26.3 in sector 1. We are expecting low 26s in sector 1. And Liam going fastest on a 19.2. That's more like it from him. Exotic Alpha now 53.0 by sector 2. One minute 20.0 for Exotic. Goes third with that. Whereas Republic, I think he's just looking to get a banker lap in, to be quite honest with you, after having the first attempt been invalidated. Connor's just started the flying lap as well in the Mercedes. What can Romans Republic do here? He was fifth at the end of last week's race in Brazil. Connor with a 25.9 in sector 1, that's very quick. Taking it steady through the Della Rocha chicane, especially over those curbs. Liam going fastest on a 1:18.9, so breaking into the 1:18's Connor nearly losing it on the exit of Lesmo. He's kept the car pointing the right way. 52.6 by sector 2. He will have lost time after that mistake on the exit of Lesmo. And he nearly lost it on the exit of Ascari as well. One minute 19.7 for Connor, and that puts him fourth out of the 6 times on the board. So Chumba is on his outlap at the moment, as is Puskov. He's going for a second run. I think he's on the same set of soft tyres as he set his earlier time on. I think he's looking to burn a set in Q1 and maybe try and get into Q3 on the mediums. There are only 11 turns on this Monza racetrack. The modification has been in place since the year 2000, when the Rettifilia chicane was reprofiled instead of the double fast chicane that was there in the years prior. So Puskov on a much better lap than before. 6 tenths up in sector 1. His lap time is a 1:21.1, which is not quite as representative as it should be for his standards. Took it rather steady through the second part of Lesmo. 7 tenths up by sector 2. Don't expect him to go in front of Alpha here. But we'll wait and see. So Koskov entering the Parabolica now to complete his second time lap. How much better will this be in comparison to his first? 9/10 better, but still no change in position. Truenbar's next behind. 1 minute 19.5. Vamu, who's another one of those called in tonight, is in the Ferrari. So we've got 15 drivers involved in this session now. Vamu will be hoping to avoid any trouble here, but he's gone off the track. He's probably made a mistake anyway. So that is his lap time over on that one. And Truenbar posting a better first set of time than before. Oh, that's terrible, terrible driving that from Matismo. He should have got out of the way by that point. He should have got out of the way. And I wonder if the stewards will look at that, because Truenbar was on a flying lap. So Truenbar won't be too pleased with Atismo's driving there. Atismo should have been moving to the right off the racing line so Truenbar to go past, but he didn't do that at all. Made no effort. So Truenbar goes second with a better time, but that so easily could have been the fastest had it not been for Atismo's maladies with him. And Kenny van de Vinkel saying it was an honour to be part of the podcast, can't wait to race. That's him who's driving his exotic Alpha in the McLaren. It was definitely good to have you on board for the podcast earlier on. Very best of luck to you tonight, mate. Exotic Alpha finished on the podium last week in Brazil. Can he go for victory here tonight? Berry posting his first time in the Alfa Romeo. It's a 1:20.2. I'd imagine he'll be going for another time up, to be honest with you, and burn a little bit more fuel. Here's Vamu, who's on a fast lap, as is Atismo. And here's Smolly. Smolly's just started a flying lap as well in the Alpine. Oh, Vamu going well wide there. Atismo's coming up behind him, actually. Vamu decides wisely to move out of the way. So what can Atismo do with this lap? So Atismo over the line. It's a 1:20.0. Here's Smalley in the Alpine. 52.3 by sector 2. Let's see Nascari. There is a car in front of him, which is an Aston Martin. That'll be Becco. He's well out of the way though, so Smalley should have a free run to the line. He's got the Alfa Romeo of Bury right behind him. He'll be on another flying lap as well, hoping for an improvement on his 1:20.2. Smalley over the line, 1:19.1 for him. What about Bury? No improvement there. He's lost time. He's made a mistake somewhere. Vamu is on a lap in the Ferrari. One of 4 drivers yet to post a time. Dan Murphy won't be setting a time in this session. I doubt he's going to be setting a time in qualifying either. Although he doesn't normally set a qualifying time. Arnell Elder and Don Argent are the other drivers who have yet to post a lap time of any sort. Vamu entering the Parabolica now. And I think this is going to be him posting probably a 1:19. 1:19.6, and he goes 6th with that effort. Now Berry on his lap. He's half a tenth away from what he had set before. Here's Becco in the Aston Martin. He's going through the Parabolica now, and should he be setting a better time than before? The answer is no. He's well away from what he'd set. What about Berry though? He's going into the pits. Now Vamu's posted a faster time than before in sector 1. 200ths. He'll want to be in the low 52s here by sector 2. It's only a 52.6. He's a quarter of a second up from what he had set beforehand though. So potentially could go third. But he's lost it though. Oh, he's hit the barrier. He's ripped off his front wing. Luckily though, the suspension was not damaged. So he'll be able to make his way back into the pit lane. But that so easily could have been the end of his qualifying session. Well, it is the end of his qualifying session now because he's just binned it at the Parabolica. And I have to say, that was not good driving standards from Vamu. He knew he had a broken front wing, and he should have been slowing down before the Parabolica. Pascov's on a better lap than before so far in the Aston Martin. 4/10s up from before. So Vamu, with him crashing out on circuit, that's his qualifying session over. Just hope he doesn't repeat that in the race. Becco going up to 6th in the Aston Martin. There's a Red Bull behind Paskov as well. I think that was Don Argent, who's yet to post a lap time. He's on his out lap anyway, so Paskov doesn't need to worry about him just yet. It's a 1:19.8 for Paskov. He goes 8th with that. And if Sotogalfa is also retired, he knows his place in Q2 is already there. Schoenbar also looking for an improvement. Smalley also opting out. .26.0 in sector 1 for him. As Paskov gets out of the way before Argent enters Lesmo. .52.3 in sector 2 for Don. I'd expect he'll go into the 1:19s here. We're into the last minute before the checker flag. So Don Argent crosses over the line for his first time of this qualifying session. It's a 1:18.8 and he goes fastest. So great effort from Don. What about Schoenbar though? He's coming through the Parabolica now. And it's a 1:18 or 1:19.0. He goes third with that. So Red Bull 1 and 3 in this qualifying session. 10 seconds remaining before the checker flag falls. So they may choose to go for another flying lap here. I think Argent's just backed up of his lap. I think Schoenbar's done the same. We'll stay with him. Yeah, he's already backed up on this one. So the only driver who will be eliminated at the end of qualifying is Vamu, because he crashed his Ferrari out on circuit. And Argent with a 1:18.8. That's a brilliant lap time, that. Can he maintain that pace into Q3? He's got to get through Q2 first, but for what the pace is set so far, should be good enough. He's coming over the... Well, he's going into the pits at the end of this lap. Schoenbar will do the same. Yep, he's into the pits. Albeit too quickly. So that should be the end of Q1. We're just waiting for the final classification of Q1 to appear. We'll run down on who will not be going through to Q2. This is not the grid for the race, but what does determine the grid is Vamo's position. So at the end of that, the only driver out is Vamo. You can see there with the red mark next to his name on the left. He's not going through to Q2. The others are though, and we'll be back in a moment for that session. Here we go with Q2. Dan Murphy, unsurprisingly, opting out of qualifying, so that leaves 3 more elimination places to be filled. A lot of the drivers will be trying to get through on the mediums, so that is going to be most certainly one of the things to look out for in this second session. Now, who's going to make their way out on circuit now? I think Connor in the Mercedes is blinking first here, so we'll go to him. So he is making his way out on track. So he enters onto the circuit now. There's the Aston Martin, what looks like Becco, who's behind. So Connor's gone out on a set of softs. Becco is on softs as well. So clear those two are not confident enough to try and get through on the mediums. Looks like the McLaren is also on circuit. Exotic Alpha is on the soft compounds, and the Aston Martin of Paskov is also on softs. So no driver so far opting a chance to try and get through on the mediums at this present moment. One of the Alpines is on circuit as well. That'll be Smalley, who's also on softs. So Connor is about to start a flying lap now in the Mercedes. There is an AlphaTauri coming out of the pit, so just needs to watch him as he goes past. That'll be Liam. Through the Curva Grande. Liam gets out of the way without any problems. So Connor looking to earn a place in Q3. 52.5 by sector 2. Exiting the last turn. That is the Parabolica. Kind of crosses over the line. It's 1:19.1 for him. Van Becker going second with a 19.9. Paskov looking to go ahead of his teammate here. This off of his has not been particularly quick. Certainly not quick enough, and it's a 1:20.2. So we go on board with last week's winner, Smalley. Didn't take the best of lines, to be honest with you. Through Ascari. Turenbar is on the mediums now, as is Rome's Republic. (52.9) by set to 2. So there's the AlphaTauri of Liam, who's ahead. I'm going to be intervening with Rome's Republic's lap here. So the Haas comes onto the pit straight, and his lap time is a 1:20.0. He goes fourth with that. Turenbar next behind. He wants to be in the 1:19s ideally. Does he do that? Yes, he does. It's a 1:19.8 for the driver who is second in the championship. And Smalley in the Alpine going through Ascari on the back straight coming towards Parabolica. His lap time from before was not representative, so we expect to see a much better lap time this time round. One minute 19.6 for Smalley. He goes second, and that should be enough to see him through to Q3. So Mikey's on a lap now in the Williams. Liam's had his lap time invalidated as well, so he's got his work cut out to book his place in Q3. Mikey's spun in the Williams, caught out with the inside curb at the De La Rocha chicane. Gets going again though without any damage at all. Just letting, I think, one of the Alpines through actually. That'll be Smalley going past. Turenbar on a better lap though in the Red Bull, and his lap time's a 1:19.8. Not that much of an improvement, if I'm honest with you. Exotic Alpha next up in the McLaren. It's a 1:19.5. That's much better. He goes second. That pushes Turenbar down to fourth place. Berry's on a lap in the Alfa Romeo. Has just started his. He's Don in the Red Bull. Fastest in Q1. It's a brilliant lap time that he had produced. Could he be a contender for pole position later? He wants to try and get through on the mediums here. 52.8. I think his target is to try and get ahead of his teammate if he can. So Argent round in the last turn. And it's going to be a 1:19, is it? Yep, it's a 1:19.5, and he does go ahead of his teammate. So Argent is fastest of all those on the medium so far. We'll go to Berry next in the Alfa Romeo, and it's a 1:20.1. He only goes 8th with that. And then Elder is on a lap in the Mercedes. He's yet to post a time of any sort. We've got over 6 minutes remaining, so he can get this lap done, complete an in-lap, and get a set of soft tyres. He's got enough time. He may decide to go for a second bite of the cherry. It's a 53.4 though by sector 2, which is around about 6 tenths slower than what Arjun had set earlier. So he's on course potentially for a low 1 minute 20 rather than a high 1 minute 19, which is what he needs. So he needs a very good last sector here to give him any hope of attempting to get into Q3 on the medium compound. It's an Elder over the line. It's a 120.3 and he only goes 10th with that. So you will be disappointed with that. What about JB Berry? What is he on at the moment? Is he on another flying lap? He is, you know. He's 100th down from before. But if he can find some time in the last sector here, he may just sneak in front of Rome's Republic. But no, he's going into the pits. Oh, and oh no, he's just cut across the chicane there. So Paskov just backed out of his lap. One of just made a mistake somewhere. So Beko is on the next out lap now. Oh, he's hit the barrier there. He was very lucky to get away with it, but he's ripped off his front wing, and that's him going back into the pits. That so easily could have been the end of his session. Now, Atismo has yet to come out onto the racetrack. Here's Liam on a set of softs. Couldn't find the time on the mediums when he was doing his attempts on them. So he has to reluctantly go onto this soft compound. So otherwise, if he goes on the mediums again, he probably won't have enough time to get round before the checker flag on his soft compound. 52.3 by sector 2 for Liam. And he should go in front of Alpha with this attempt here. Entering the parabolic, and now Liam looking to choose one of his best laps here. It's a 1:19.0 and goes to the top of the timing pages. That should see him through into Q3, no problem. And Paskov out on circuit. He's about 600ths down from his previous best in sector 1. 3 minutes to go before the checker flag falls. The bottom 4 are Unknown Elder, Mikey, Murphy and Atismo. Paskov by sector 2 is 3 tenths up, so potentially he could go in front. Oh, he's lost it though. That's him going into the wall. Rips off his front wing, and luckily he's able to keep going. I hope that doesn't put Berry off though. He's on his outlap anyways, Berry, so he's not going to be affected by that. So Paskov, another Aston Martin going into the barriers there, and luckily continuing. He's fallen into the drop zone now as well, so I don't think he's going to have time to get round and complete a lap time. So we'll go with Berry next. He's the next driver to complete a flying lap. And it's as though that Atismo is not going to be heading out on circuit. Therefore, he will be going out of qualifying. Murphy is as well. Paskov is currently stuck in the pits. I don't think he's going to have time to get back out, you know. 2 tenths up by sector 2 for Bowie. He's currently on the bobble at the moment in 10th. He's potentially looking at a 1:19.9 with this effort. He could get into a 1:19.8 if he's lucky. If he do that, he'll go in front of Beko. It's a 1:19.7, goes 7th. That's a brilliant effort from Bowie. That should see him through into Q3. Unknown Elder has just started a flying lap in the Mercedes. He's 3/10 up from before in Sector 1. So he's in play for a place in Q3 right now. Now, Unknown Elder is going to be coming up to a Red Bull shortly. I'm not sure which one it is. Should be okay at the moment, to be quite honest with you. He's 6/10 up from before, though. So he's on course potentially for a 1:19.7 or a 1:19.6 with the effort he's producing. And Paskov has retired from the session. In fact, he's crashed out, I think, as Paskov. So that'll be his qualifying session over. 1:19.5 for Unknown Elder. He is through to Q3 without a problem. Roman's Republic is now in the drop zone. He's not going to make the checker flag, though. So he's missed the car by nearly 2/10 of a second. We'll stay with him, though, just in case. Truenbar is on a flying lap. It could be a glitch with the graphics, so we'll find out whether Roman's Republic will be able to pull off a better lap time than before. He is on the soft compounds. Yeah, he's posted a better time, in fact, so that was a glitch on the graphics. So Roman's Republic goes up to 3rd. Beko is out of qualifying as he's pushed back into the drop zone. Truenbar will post a better time, and he goes to the top with a 1:18.8 ahead of Liam. So only 2 drivers making it through on the mediums. They are Arjun and Smalley. So Smalley making it through into Q3 on the mediums. That'll be good news for him for the race later on. So confirmation of those who are out. They are Atismo, Murphy, Paskov and Beko. The top 10 all go through to the final part of qualifying. Who will be on pole for the Italian Grand Prix later on? We'll be right back in a few moments' time. Don't go anywhere. More minutes to see who will come out as the best of those on a single lap. You just see Smalley making his way out on circuit now, as is Roman's Republic and Arjun and Connor. So it's going to be a very busy track straight away for the drivers. It's going to be a very busy circuit. Now, how many of them are going to go out and get their first attempts done? I imagine there'll be at least 1 or 2 who will sit in the pits and wait for a gap in the traffic. We've got 5 drivers out so far. Women's Republic is one of them. Just see behind Connor launch. No, sorry, not Connor. It was Smalley launched himself over those curves. Liam's out on track now, as is the Williams of Mikey. So 7 cars are out on circuit. And Liam's off onto the grass there. He's got to be careful not to rejoin into the path of other drivers. He's okay at the moment. He needs to get the car moving before the game decides to disqualify him, which is the last thing he wants. Where is he at the moment? He's got going again, so that's good news to see. So Rome's Republic's lap is not going to be hindered. So the lap time that Romans will be aiming for is at the very minimum a low 26. So 26.0. A very smooth line through the Deli Rocha chicane over those curbs that are so easy to get caught out on. Tim Lesmo. Very nice exit. And now onto the back straight with DRS. Maybe a low 52, I should think. So 52.5. So Romans Republic looking very good here for a decent lap. Liam's up ahead of him, but he's well out of the way. We'll go to Smalley once Romans Republic's lap is done here. He crosses over the line. It's a 1:19.2. What about Smalley though? It's a 1:18.8, and that puts him to provisional pole position. And Don Argent goes second on a 1:18.9. The Mercedes of Connor goes fourth on a 1:19.9. Exotic Alpha behind has gone fourth fastest on a 1:19.7. So it's Smalley from Argent, from Romans Republic, Exotic Alpha and Connor. Mikey is next up behind, who's had his lap invalidated, so he won't be posting a lap time on that occasion. Liam's first set has been brilliant though, 25.9 in sets of 1. Has he made a mistake though? I think he has. So, I imagine he'll just back off on this lap and go again. Just looking to see who's improving on these sets of times. Well, none of them except Alpha has improved in sets of 1. Now, the Mercedes of Connor is ahead of Alpha here. Connor needs to move out of the way here. And he hasn't done that. He didn't do it in time. He should have moved out of the way there and let Alpha through. So I wonder if Connor will be spoken to by the stewards about impeding Alpha on that occasion. Alpha may have decided to back off on this lap. He has, so it was not good of Connor there to hold Alpha up in the way that he did. So that's him going into the pits. Liam 26.1 in sets of 1. Mikey's invalidated his lap time again, and so has Liam. So neither of them will be improving their lap times. Onan Elder and Turenbart are out on circuit now. They are in the gap in the traffic. They found the gap in the traffic. So Turenbart starting a fine lap in the Red Bull then. He'll be one of those going for pole. You do get a championship point if you qualify on pole position, so this does matter for the likes of Smalley and Turenbart. Can Romans Republic get in there as well and threaten? And Argent's that time. He's a reserve this evening though. Turenbart will be looking to make amends here. 25.8 in set to 1. That's the fastest we've seen anyone do by that point of the lap so far. Through Lesmo. He'll be aiming for... Oh, he's overdone it though. So Turenbart's exceeded track limits on the exit of Lesmo, so he'll have to go again. We'll go to Unknown Elder next then. He's just started the final lap in the Mercedes. What's his time in Sector 1 like? Only a 26.3, so I doubt that he's going to be threatening for pole position here. So he's looking to maybe get in front of Exotic Alpha and Connor with the effort he's producing here. So a low 1 minute 19 should be his target here. DRS open. .52.9 by Sector 2. Berry's out on circuit now in the Alfa Romeo. Only he and Unknown Elder are out on circuit until Rome's Republic has joined. So he's Elder then, posting his first time of Q3. And it's going to be a 1 minute 19.6. And he goes fourth with that. So he goes in front of Alpha and Connor with that effort. Nice going there from Elder. So Berry looking to improve. Well, he hasn't even posted a time yet. I don't know if he's doing it just the one run in this session. He could well be. So Berry, where will he end up on the grid? There is a McLaren coming out of the pits now. That'll be Alpha, so Berry will just need to keep an eye out on him. He'll be going at much better speed. Alpha needs to watch him as he comes down the start-finish straight. Alpha wisely stays out of the way. That's good of him. That's very, very good of him. So JB Berry, what can he do? Obviously his target is going for points. It's a 26.2 in Sector 1, which is faster than what Elder did when he posted his lap time. So it's not too shabby of a lap. There's definitely more to be found. Keeps his car within the confines of the racetrack, which is good. I would say he's going to be in the high 52s by Sector 2 here. So 52.8. Very smooth through Ascari. Very good indeed from Berry. This is very much a tidy lap that Berry's about to put on the board here. Can he get in front of Elder with this effort here? It's a 1 minute 19.6, and he does go in front of Elder. So Berry goes up to fourth position, and just seen that Roman's Republic has crashed out on the exit of Ascari. He has. He's binned it in the wall, so he will not be starting higher than third on the grid. So Berry, I think he's going to try and go for another flying lap here. A 10th up by Sector 1, so can Berry do something even better here? We'll go to Exotic. In fact, Liam is on a lap at the moment, but I think he's made a mistake in the second sector. We'll have a look on his time so far. Yeah, he's backed off on this lap. So we'll go to Exotic Alpha, who has made a mistake in Sector 1, so he's not on a good lap right now. So Berry, a 10.5 up by Sector 2 on his lap before. He may not get in front of Rome's Republic, but he can further the margin between himself and the likes of Elder, Alpha and Connor. 1 at 19.4, and he extends his margin. So that's a brilliant effort from Berry to keep hold of his fourth place here. Alpha crossing the line in the McLaren. No improvement there. I can imagine he'll go for one last effort to improve his lap time. Mikey in the Williams is on fire on this lap. And he goes up to third. That's a brilliant lap time from Mikey. So the Williams goes up into third place. Argent's on a really poor lap at the moment. He'll give it one more go though. And Smalley now. Not on an improvement either. So he won't be going any faster. And Alpha's on a better lap now though. Truenbar entering the last turn here. The Czechoslovak will fall. So this is his last effort here. Truenbar over the line. And he goes to pole position by 0.3 of a second. What about Liam? He's crossing over the line. He goes third with his effort. So good effort there from Liam to also get into the 1:18s. Now Argent's on a lap at the moment. Who else is on a lap? Alpha crosses over the line for McLaren. He goes 7th with his time. So Berry down to 8th. Connor goes up to 5th. So he also gets into the 1:18s. Now Smalley is a quarter of a second up from before. This is going to be very close. It's going to be either him or Truenbar starting on pole position for the Italian Grand Prix. So Smalley coming out of the Parabolica. Can he take pole position away from Truenbar? Yes, he can! Half a tenth up on Truenbar. Smalley on pole position once again here at Monza. Truenbar will line up alongside him on the front row, just as he did so a week ago in Brazil. So what an Italian Grand Prix grid we've got now. Liam up there in third place. And remember, Smalley is one of 2 drivers to start the race on the medium compound tyres. That's something to look forward to. I think Truenbar's starting on the soft, so there's going to be a different strategies between those 2 men. But it's Smalley who will start the Italian Grand Prix from pole position. So here's your top 10 then for the grid. Smalley on pole, with Truenbar half a tenth behind him in second, with Liam third, and Don Argent, one of the reserves for this evening, will make it 2 Rebels in the top 4. Connor and Mikey on row 3, ahead of Romans Republic and Exotic Alpha next on the 4th row. Berry in a decent 9th spot. He did a good effort on his lap time. On an Elder rounds out the top 10. So we'll be back for the race. It's expected to be dry throughout, so do not go anywhere. We'll be back in a few moments' time. Drivers on the grid then for the race. We believe to have 14 drivers there. There may be 1 or 2 more that have joined. But either way, we could be in for some entertaining action. The drivers are to be wary of those curbs that are so easy to be caught out on, especially through the De La Rocha chicane, Lesmo and Ascari. Now those starting on the softs, we expect them to be going from the softs to the hards. But those on the mediums can go on a longer first stint before they go onto the hards and be on better tyres for the end of the race. Having said that, if we do get a safety car, that is likely to change things. So Smalley has a 9-point lead in the championship after round 1. This is round 2 of what is an 11-round championship. We will finish on the 12th of October in Baku. That will be for tiers 1, 2 and 3. The tier 4 race at Monza will be on Sunday, so they will finish 5 days later than the other tiers. Do feel free to get involved in the conversation if you're watching us, and make sure you leave a like and subscribe to not only the Formula Racing League channel, but also to Tom Cairns Official. And the 15 drivers go off onto their formation lap then for the start of this Italian Grand Prix. And looking to see who is starting on what. So Smalley and Argent are on the mediums because they got through to Q3 on those set of tyres. Everyone else inside the top 10 are on the softs. Beko, Puskov, Murphy are on mediums. Batismo and Vamu are on the soft compound. So we're geared up then for the start as the drivers generate heat into their brakes and tyres. So Smalley looking to make it 2 wins from 2. Could we get a surprise winner today? I mean, anything is possible here at Monza, as we stated in the Formula Racing League podcast earlier with the likes of Jack Berry and Bruce. Jack starting 9th on the grid, hoping to continue where he left off in Brazil. He finished 6th last week in his first race in Tier 1. Can he do anything more today? Arjun will be fancying his chances of the race win here on the mediums. So his target will be to try and get in front of Liam and Truenbar into turn 1. As ever, the race is not won on at the first corner or on the first lap. It's a 27 lap race, 50% race distance of an Italian Grand Prix here at Monza. Circuit that's been on the Formula 1 calendar in every season but one since 1950. The only year that didn't host the Italian Grand Prix was in 1980. That was held at Imola, whilst remodifications were being done to the circuit before the Italian Grand Prix returned to this gorgeous circuit from 1981 onwards. Everyone is in position then, and we await those 5 red lights to come on. Just waiting for them to become stationary. The Vivo lights come on when they go out, so we'll be racing here at Monza. It's lights out and away we go. Smalley gets off the line well. Truenbar looking to get alongside, and it looks like he's going to make it into turn 1 first. He goes side by side with the Alpine. Truenbar going to the inside, and he's through into the lead into turn 1. Contact behind the Mercedes, making contact with the Alpine, and Truenbar and Smalley make contact as well, and that allows Liam, Mikey and Arjun through, and Arjun spins round the Red Bull. He's pointing the wrong way. So Smalley down to 4th place from pole position. Truenbar into the lead. It's Liam second, and Mikey and Nick Smalley and Rome's Republic, who's made up places on an Elders lost ground, as has Connor. Berry's okay though in 8th place. They go through the Della Rosa chicane for the first time, and it looks as though they got through the chicane unscathed. Elder diving to the inside of Rome's Republic into Lasmo. He gets up into 5th place, so Truenbar out in front. Liam in 2nd place. He got the start he needed. Mikey is in 3rd place, who we ride on board with now, and he's looking to make amends in 3rd place. Smalley's got it with it all to do from 4th position, but remember, he lost out at the start last week to Truenbar. This week the same, and he recovered from there. So there's a long way to go yet in this Italian Grand Prix at Monza. So Truenbar extending the margin out in front. 1 second he's got over Liam and Mikey. Smalley behind in 4th, and it's Elder and Rome's Republic. Connor, Berry, Alpha and Puskov round out your top 10 so far. And it looks as though all the cars got through unscathed. Arjun's down at the back though, in 15th position. And it looks like Connor's gotten round, or he's in the pits or something. Oh, that's the leaderboard glitching actually, so we'll just wait for that leaderboard to update itself accurately. As well as the lap counter. It's still saying we're on lap 3, but not, we're on lap 2. So SpongeBob, or Mikey, I should say, is in 3rd place. Smalley in 4th. And it's Elder in 5th. So whilst Truenbar leads, his teammate is at the back of the field. The man who is substituting for Pimis tonight. He's Pascal with it all to do after making contact with Smalley on the exit of the Rettifilio chicane. There's no DRS for the first 2 laps of this. And Truenbar pulling out that crucial 1 second gap, or 2 second gap actually. But it's the 1 second gap you need to bridge out to avoid being under threat, those behind with the DRS that they will have. So Mikey is in 3rd place behind Liam. Truenbar posting the new fastest lap of the race. Someone has gone for a spin at the Parabolica. It's Paskov who's recovered. And now Liam can't fend off Mikey on this occasion. Mikey goes up into 2nd position. The only problem he's going to have is that Liam's going to have the DRS the next time they get round to where Lesmo is, on the exit of Lesmo. Now Smalley, you remember, is on the medium compounds, which means he'll be able to go on a longer first stint to those who have started on the softs. So Truenbar in the lead, Mikey 2nd, Liam 3rd, Smalley 4th. As Liam looks to stay in touch with Mikey and Fred. And Paskov has just been overtaken by Argent. So Liam behind in 3rd position. They come towards the Parabolica. And Liam waiting for any opportunity possible, getting the best of exits he can out of the Parabolica. He's going to have DRS behind Mikey, which he uses now. Now does he go for it into turn 1? He goes to the inside. He decides to back out of it. Probably going to wait until the pit stops come round. Vamo gets in front of Berry for 9th place. Paskov and Arjun fighting over 14th position. Paskov going too deep into turn 1 and concedes the position at the end of it. You can see Beko and Atismo fighting over 12th. They're both going side by side through there into the Della Rocha chicane. Who's going to yield on this occasion? The answer is Beko, and wisely so. Elder picks up the first time penalty of the race for track limits. 3 seconds it is. And here's Liam, who's coming up behind Mikey. Does he go for it into the Ascara chicane? I thought he was going to do so for a moment there, but he wisely tucked back in behind the Williams. And now, is he going to go for it into the Parabolica? The answer is no. So Liam is going to use the DRS again to try and get in front here. Will he go for it into turn 1? He's going side by side this time, and I think he is going to go through on this occasion. So Liam gets back up into 2nd place. No problem. Truenbar's lead is nearly 4 seconds now between Liam. Well, between himself and Liam, I should say. And Vamo fending off Berry behind. There's Argent, who's in 14th position. And so the drivers have pretty much kept it clean so far throughout this race, which is to my surprise, because I thought I'd be at least one driver getting caught out by the curves. So Mikey will be under threat from Smalley in a moment, but the good news for him is that he's still within that 1 second window of DRS behind Liam in front. But I think by this point in the race now, Smalley's tyres will be coming into his window, into his optimum window. So the driver's coming towards the end of lap 5 now. Truenbar is now over 4 seconds in front as they start lap 6. Now Mikey will have the DRS to close back in on Liam again. Now Argent. Don't know if he's got bodywork damage after the contact he's had at the start. Doesn't seem to be at the moment. Paskov gets a time penalty for track limits as well. So those 3 seconds will go to his time at the end of the race. So Truenbar out in front. Mikey is determined to get back ahead, and this is crucial for Smalley to get in front of him, actually. He's got more ERS in store than the Williams. So it's important that Smalley gets in front of these as soon as he can to get back in touch with Truenbar in front. So can the Scots find their way through past Mikey? He'll be in the slipstream of the Williams, and with more ERS in store, he'll use it, and he'll get in front here as Berry pits, as does Elder, but Elder's being penalised for speeding. So that's 5 seconds, of which will go to his time at the end of the race, but he can serve at his next pit stop after the one he's just done. Should he pit again, of course. It's very early in the race to be going on the medium, so I'd imagine he'll be on a 2-stop strategy. I think Vamo's in as well, so Vamo deciding to go to another set of soft compound tyres. So Exotic Alpha is in 7th behind Rose Republic and Connor. So Smalley is in 3rd place. Liam ahead. And someone's gone off in sector... Is that Mikey's gone off behind? It is. So Mikey's made a mistake on the exit of Ascari, and he's fallen down to 7th place behind Alpha. So he must have lost it on the exit, and now someone else has had a moment at Ascari. But it's continued anyway. So Mikey's lost more positions there. So now on lap 8, and Liam's been overtaken by Smalley now. Smalley going up into 2nd place. Can he go after race leader Truenbar? The yellow flag seems to be continuously glitching. Oh, Smalley nearly losing it! And Liam gets back through again. So Liam gets back through. Smalley got caught out by the curbs, nearly lost the car. And he's lost 2nd place again to the AlphaTauri. So he's going to be stopped behind him again. And this is allowing Truenbar to shoot off into the distance even more. And someone's out. It's a Tismo. He's crashed out on the exit. And that brings out the first virtual safety car of the race. So Tismo's miserable race comes to a close, his miserable night. And now it's a safety car. So it's good news for those who have started on the softs, including Truenbar. Will he decide to pit in at the end of this lap? The answer is yes. I think Smalley will decide to stay out to further the gap on his softs, but no, he's coming in as well. But pretty much everyone's coming in except Dan Murphy. He knows his teammate's going to be coming in, so he decides to stay out. So he'll take the lead of the race. Who else has also stayed out? Becco stayed out because he's on the mediums. So we have our first safety car of the race. So different in strategies at the moment. Truenbar's gone on a set of mediums. Smalley's gone on to hards. Now the ones on the mediums are going to have the pace advantage on the restarts. Considering we are under safety car conditions, we're not going to lose that much tyre life behind it anyway. So Dan Murphy leads behind the safety car. He may have a shot at going for a top 10 finish now. Remember, he started from 14th or 13th on the grid. Let's have a look to see how many positions he's gained. He's gained 12 positions, so he started 13th on the grid. He's now leading the race, but he's yet to make his pit stop. Now he's Turenbar trying to pass Becker under the yellow flags. He thought better of it. And now Becker's is being told to let Turenbar through again. I mean, Becco should be having second place here because he was ahead of Turenbar, and Turenbar crossed over the pit exit line. So Nathan saying safety car out, and the answer is yes, because Atismo crashed out at Lesmo. We're now on lap 10 out of 27. And Don Argen's in the pits, going on to a set of mediums. He's at the back anyway. Can he get out in front of Vamu, who's coming round? And I don't think he is, you know. So Argen rejoins behind the Ferrari. So the safety car is on its second tour. And I should think by the time we get to the second sector we shall know whether the safety car is going to be coming in at the end of this lap or not. And the safety car is coming in at the end of the lap, so Dan Murphy will control the pace. Becco is right behind him, looking to bag a positive result here today. Now those who have stayed out on their medians that they've started the race on, they're going to try and stretch out their stints and possibly go on a set of softs for the last stint. So the whole field is together now. And Murphy should go when he is ready to do so, and he's off. He's caught everyone napping. So what a restart Murphy's made already on everyone else. What a restart Murphy's made. And Turenbar is going to be right behind Becco as they cross over the start-finish line now. So into the Rettifilio they go. Turenbar to the inside of the Aston Martin. He gets up into second position. Mikey to the inside of Alpha. They make contact there. Mikey goes out wide. They go side by side. It looks like Connor's going to go around the pair of them. And what a move from Connor to get through. So Connor gets up to 9th place on the restart so far. Bruce lost out on the restart actually, so he's down to 14th place at the moment. So Murphy's still out in front. No DRS for the first 2 laps of the restart. And Murphy's got track position of which he can start to use to his advantage, whilst others are fighting over the same pieces of tarmac. And looks like Liam's trying to get past Paskov as well for 4th place. Couldn't quite do it there. Now Smalley's going to be all over the back of the AlphaTauri as they go down the back straight before the Parabolica. And Vamu's crashed out on the exit of Ascari. Is that going to bring out another safety car, I wonder? Murphy's coming round the Parabolica now. He's already gone past it anyway, so I don't think we're going to have the safety car this time, which will be good news for Murphy. So Vamu's the second car to drop out of this one as Smalley goes round Liam and Paskov into turn 1. Does he do it? He's got past Liam, but he couldn't quite get past the Aston Martin. But he has done now. So Smalley crucially gets up into 4th position. He's in the Aston Martin sandwich now. And now he needs to try and get past Becco as soon as he can. So Murphy still leads, but the gap has come down to less than a second. So Smalley, the sooner he gets in front of the Aston Martin here, the better for his race. So Smalley right behind Becco here. Oh, someone's had a moment. Who's that gone off? It's Connor. So Connor throwing his efforts on the restart away by running wide at Ascari. I think Berry's going to go past him as well. To the outside he goes. Does he do it there? The answer is no, he doesn't. And Smalley going to the inside here of Becco as they go down to turn one. I think Becco breaks later than the Alpine, but Smalley has the inside line. He gets in front. So Smalley up into third place, which is crucial for his race. You see Puskov going toe-to-toe with his teammate now. No, they need to play it safe here. Puskov is going to the inside, but decides to back out of it and lets Becco go past him. Arjun gets in front of Alpha now, so he's recovering in the Red Bull. Romans Republic ahead of Liam. So Romans Republic on a charge. In fact, he's got the tyre advantage over Liam, hence why he's perhaps got past him. The DRS has been enabled, so the Aston Martins are able to use theirs. Now Schurenbach is behind the leader. So Murphy, I think he's going to try and stretch it out until at least, I would say, lap 18. Now Schurenbach, with plenty of DRS and the DRS, is going to go past the Alfa Romeo with ease. So Schurenbach is back into the lead. Murphy thought about fighting back, but he has to settle for second on this occasion. Mikey going side by side with Arjun. Arjun trying to get past the Williams, continuing his fight back through the field. Arjun gets up to 9th place now. Puskov still fighting with Becco. Both Aston Martins have still yet to stop in this race, remember. I think they're going on the same strategy as Murphy is, so they're going to drop quite some way back by the time they do pit in. Murphy will have the DRS though, which he can use. In fact, if he can stay in touch with Schurenbach, that'll help him bridge out more of a gap on Smalley. So Unknown Elder not able to get past the Aston Martins at the moment. Oh, Puskov got a little bit out of shape, but kept the car pointing the right way. Now the Aston Martin's got to be careful not to be fighting with each other too much here. Schurenbach posting the new fastest lap of the race. I think Puskov may have a go here on his teammate here. He does go to the inside, as he has the straight line speed advantage. He may be able to box the Mercedes in as well. In fact, Puskov's been very clever here. But the Aston Martin drivers have been very clever. Becco's left the door open for Elder to try and get alongside. Oh, a bit of contact between the pair of them. That was wheel against side pod. Can Elder go to the outside? Not enough room to get through, so the Aston Martins stay ahead. Arjun's been penalised though for track limits. Who's had a moment there? Is that Smalley who's had a moment? I think it is, and he's dropped back. So Smalley's lost a little bit of time, and that's allowed the Aston Martins to close back in again. Now Liam's looking to have a look on the Mercedes of Elder as they go down the back straight before Ascari. Oh, big contact, wheel to wheel. Luckily Liam avoided the barrier, but that was a little bit rude from the Mercedes of Elder there. That nearly sent Liam into the barrier. Arjun's been penalised for track limits, and he's trying to make up for that by getting past Romans Republic for 8th position. So drivers completing lap 15 now. Oh, and Paskov and Beko coming in together. They timed it really poorly. This is not what they needed, and now they're going to be stacking up in the pit lane. That's really poor strategy work from the Aston Martin team. They really should not have been pitting at the same time. That's costly. Oh, Mikey losing out there to Exotic Alpha, and now Connor's trying to get through on the Williams. And he does so. So Connor goes up into 9th place with Berry waiting behind. So Paskov and Beko rejoining in 12th and 13th, but they should not have been pitting on the same lap as each other. Mikey's been penalised now for track limits. He's the 4th driver to be penalised in this race. So Truenbart only 2.6 seconds in front of Murphy. I would say Murphy's going to stay out for another couple of laps before he decides to be pitting in. But he needs to be wary of Paskov, because Paskov is going to be right on the tail of him when he does pit in for his only stop of the race. Murphy decides to pit in now though. Arjun also getting in front of Elder as well. And now he's going to be on the tail of the AlphaTauri of Liam with DRS. So this could be even better for Arjun here. DRS open. Oh, the Mercedes going onto the grass there. That's Elder who's going to go across the chicane there. He's got to be careful not to gain too much of an advantage. He's spun round at turn 1 and he's lost a heap of time. So Arjun up into 3rd place through all that. As Elder gets a time penalty for exceeding track limits. He may get that revoked, to be honest with you. Or rescinded, I should say. And someone's gone round at turn 1. Who's that? I think that's just a glitch, actually, with the yellow flags. So Murphy rejoins in 11th place behind Elder. He's not far behind him either. So he's going to have the better tyres than he is. So that promotes Arjun up into 3rd place behind Smalley. So Connor behind is ahead of Alpha. Mikey picks up another time penalty for track limits. So 1.5 seconds of the gap between Murphy and Elder as the Alfa Romeo closes back in. We'll go to the battle for 3rd place again though. Liam will still be able to use the DRS. Now Arjun's time penalty of 3 seconds will drop him behind Liam and Rose Republic as Murphy gets past unknown Elder, who's gone round at the Parabolica. We've nearly rejoined dangerously there into the path of another driver. He enters the pit lane and he may decide to call it a day after that, to be quite honest with you. He's got to be hoping for a safety car, which is quite unlikely now, to be honest with you. There's Berry in 9th, behind Mikey. Elder's left the session, but his car's not retired, so... Rose Republic is in 5th place. Can he get in front of Liam here? Put himself in the frame for a podium finish. Now Liam's on the hard tyres, Rose Republic is on the mediums. So Liam's going to be on better tyres than Arjun by the end of this race, so a podium finish is very much on for Liam, a position in which he missed out on at Interlagos last week. Alpha goes up to 7th place then, as he goes past Mikey. Offense off Mikey. There's Murphy in 10th place on the much better tyres than those ahead of him. But Murphy may be trying to go for the fastest lap as well. someone's gone off in sector 2. Who's that? Is that the... I think that's Murphy, who's had a moment there and he's continued, so... He's dropped back from those guys ahead of him. So Liam in 4th place. Arjun's time penalty would not be enough for him to stay on the podium. We've got 8 laps to go now of this race. And Berry gets past Mikey. Or does he? Because Mikey's fighting back. But Berry's able to get through. So Berry having a very clean race so far. He gets up to 8th. Alva's next up ahead. Mars Republic still behind Liam. And Elder back into the pits. Is that him going on to another set of tyres, I wonder? Yeah, he's going on to a set of softs. Arjun's time penalty gets worse now. 3 more seconds added, which takes his total to 6. So his chances of a podium are diminishing here now. And his mediums will be starting to wear away by this point. There's Berry. He's going to be within DRS range to have a go on Alpha. Rear wing open. Which way is he going to go? He goes to the inside. And 7th place goes to the Alfa Romeo. So Berry continuing a good race so far to go up into the top 7. Paskov gets ahead of Mikey now, who enters the pits. I would think he's going to try and go for the fastest lap. The only problem he's got is that he's outside the top 10. He's going to rejoin in 12th place behind Becco. So Truenbar in 1st place. He's just lapped unknown Elder. Smalley looks as though he's going to have to settle for 2nd place today. He'll still lead the championship as it stands. Mikey gets a time penalty for chart limits now. So his time penalty gets worse. He's on to 9 seconds. So his chances of finishing in the top 10 are becoming increasingly slim. So Connor is behind Rome's Republic. Both of which are trying to get ahead of Liam. Now Connor, can he get into the slipstream of the Haas? I'm going side by side, to be honest with you. In fact, he's going side by side with him now. Both of which using DRS, nearly banging wheels. And Connor gets ahead. So Connor is in front of Rome's Republic. He goes up to 5th place behind Liam. Now, can Berry get in on the act here and close in on those guys? It's very much possible, as Connor looks to get past Liam here. He's into the slipstream of the AlphaTauri. He won't get him at the Della Rocha chicane because he's too far back, and so he'll have to wait behind a few more corners before he uses the DRS on the exit of Lesmo. DRS being used now by the Mercedes. Connor, I wonder if he's exceeded track limits there. He may well have done, to be honest with you. And he's lost crucial ground to the AlphaTauri, and that's allowed Rome's Republic to close back in again. Paskov gets penalised again for track limits. That currently doesn't affect his race finishing position because he's got over 10 seconds of gap on his teammate. And Paskov's time penalty is 6 seconds. So Connor stays behind Liam into turn 1. Berry looking to fend off the McLaren of Alpha behind him. There's Murphy, who's caught up to them now. I wonder if Murphy's tyres will be starting to fall away by this point. May not be. And Mikey's back in the pits again. I wonder if he'll decide to call it a day, to be honest with you. He's so far back. And he's got an enormous time penalty. Yeah, he's out of the race. So Mikey's Italian Grand Prix comes to an end so close to the conclusion of this race. No points for him. So we've got Liam ahead of Connor. So they fight over 4th place. Liam gets a time penalty now. That's bad news, and his chances of going for the podium. So Connor, as it stands, he'll be going to the podium unless he decides to get a time penalty or something else happens up front. And Smalley beginning to close back in a little bit now on Turenbar ahead as Connor breaks in time. Got a bit of a nudge from Liam as he went past, but Connor's through. So Connor is up to 4th place. Can he go after Arjun? It's very much possible now. Alpha's back ahead of Berry as well. I wonder if Berry's going to let Murphy through here. Or are they going to tussle it out, I wonder? We're now on lap 24. 3 laps to go at the end of this one. Turenbar's lead is less than 7 seconds. And Murphy's right behind Berry now. I think Berry is not going to fight out that much, to be honest with you. He allows his teammates to go through. So Murphy up to 8th place then. Sotic Alpha is next up. Liam looking to get back ahead of Connor, but he's quite far behind him. In fact, if Dan Murphy can keep up with his pace, keep up with them, then he may be able to go to the podium. He wants to get past Exotic Alpha as soon as he can into the slipstream. Uses a little bit of his DRS. DRS open on the Alfa Romeo. And Dan Murphy goes up to 7th. Brilliant effort from him today. And it could get even better in the final few laps. So as it stands, with Arjun's time penalty, who's currently 3rd on the road, he would drop to 4th behind Connor, who is 5 seconds off him. So Arjun needs to bridge out another second on him. Dan Murphy in 7th. 3.6 seconds. I just want to compare the times he's setting in comparison to Rome's Republic, although Rome's Republic is using the DRS. 54.5 by sector 2. Dan Murphy, 53.4. He's definitely closing in on him now. He's definitely closing in on him on this lap. So Liam looking to try and get back ahead of Connor. So much more speed than him on the straight there. DRS open on the AlphaTauri. Will he get through? I think he will do before the Rettifilio. So Liam goes back up into 4th place. So Murphy in 7th. Can Berry get in front of Alpha again? So Turenbar with a comfortable lead right now. The gap was 9 points before today's event. Now Smalley getting pole position. Turenbar has the fastest lap, so the gap in the championship would come down to just a single point going into the next round of the championship, which will be in Shanghai next week. The Turenbar starts the final lap of the race. It's been a brilliant performance from him. Smalley fell down to 4th place at the beginning, which cost him time. He just wasn't able to close him down enough, to be quite honest with you, to take the victory. But it's most certainly going to spice up the championship. And with Lizard, who won last season's championship in Tier 1, back next week, we're going to be in for a thrilling title battle between those guys. Connor looking to get back ahead of Liam here on the road. Does he do it into the Retafilio? The answer is yes. Contact between the pair of them. But Connor's through. And now Liam is about to lose 5th place to Rowan's Republic, who also gets past. So the Haas is through. As it stands, Arjun would keep his podium position, but he's a fight over 5th place on the road anyway. Liam tries to get back through on the inside of the Haas, and Liam is through. As it stands, Liam will drop down to 7th place because Dan Murphy has got back to within of 3 seconds of him. Bowie has got past Alpha for 8th. So positions changing left, right and centre. Here's Turenbar then with 1 corner remaining. The Parabolica, he enters. He exits the Parabolica. He crosses over the line to win the Italian Grand Prix at Monza. Turenbar is your race winner. Smalley will come home in 2nd place to keep hold of the lead in the championship. Argent is 3rd, but has he done enough? He's currently 6 seconds in front. Now can Connor get himself onto the podium here? Yes he can! Connor takes his first podium finish in the Formula Racing League in Tier 1. Argent down to 4th, Rowan's Republic 5th. Dan Murphy is in 6th place. Liam down to 7th with his time penalty. Alpha 8th, Bowie is 9th. Paskov crashes over the line in 10th place. Becco is 11th, Elder a lap down in 12th. But Turenbar wins here at Monza. An excellent performance from him, from start to finish. The driver's out onto the podium now. And this is a victory that Turenbar will celebrate long into the night. Some redemption after that season finale in Abu Dhabi. We got caught out on the curb on the exit of the penultimate corner, which handed victory to Mystic Joker. But this time, he stays ahead. He dominated the race pretty much. And he's your deserved race winner. Very well done to him. So here's your race result here at Monza in Tier 1 of the Formula Racing League. Turenbar wins and gets the fastest up of the race. Smalley is 2nd, but does get the point for pole position, which means he's a point ahead in the championship. Connor is 3rd, ahead of Arjun, who finishes 4th. Rowan's Republic is 5th. Dan Murphy 6th. Liam is 7th. Exotic Alpha in 8th. Bowie is 9th. Paskov rounding out the top 10. Becco is 11th. Unknown Elder, the last of the finishers, in 12th. Mikey, no points for him. Famu also crashed out, as did Atismo. So a point separates Smalley, who's leading, and Turenbar in 2nd place. The next round of the championship will be in Shanghai in China in a week's time on the 17th of August, 8 PM British Summer Time. I'm Tom Cairns, and I'll speak to you again soon when the Formula Racing League returns.